Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. We're thrilled to have you join us today for this exciting AI-powered Wi-Fi optimization for the hybrid workforce webinar. It's a combined webinar with Intel and Wyebot. For introductions, I'm Roger Sands. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Wyebot. I've been in the Wi-Fi technology space for 25 years. And prior to Wyebot, I ran HP's global Wi-Fi business for 7 years. Eric, you want to do an intro?
Sure. Thanks, Roger. It's great to be here and appreciate the invite. It's fun to be talking about this cool stuff. So I too have been in the Wi-Fi world for about 20 years. I've been at Intel for 25. And previous to Intel, I had about 10 years of experience, all in tech, primarily in networking and communications. So again, glad to be here.
Yeah, we're thrilled to have you join us, Eric. And the partnership that we built together over the last year and a half has been incredible, pushing the envelope of innovation for both companies. And we're excited to share that with our audience today. So first and foremost, the mobile workforce. I think we all agree now this has become the norm. Access to information anytime, any place, anywhere. If you think of doctors and nurses in healthcare moving around the hospitals with their tablets, laptops, etc., line busting tablets in the retail space, the corporate user, right? Traveling, business travel, hotels, trains, planes, working in the home office. Obviously, the hybrid workforce has exploded post-COVID, and it's here to stay. There's a balance there, as we all know, but it's an exciting opportunity. So we have this diverse set of mobile workforce, but at the same time, the users, they're expected to just to have their applications and devices work wherever they are, in a coffee shop, like I said, on a train. They're not sitting around thinking about access point configurations, neighbors, hotspots. They turn on their laptop, turn on their tablet, and they're expecting connectivity reliably, and they're expecting to be able to do their work, whatever it is that they're doing, in real time with no disruptions.
Yeah, so let me take it from there for talk a little bit about what that means. So like you said, you nailed it, Roger. We've been working in the wireless space at Intel for over 20 years, and as I said, my career spans even longer than that in various connectivity technologies. And the one thing I've heard over and over again is exactly what you said. I just need to get connected, stay connected. And I think as an industry, the wireless industry and Wi-Fi in particular has done an incredible job as we've moved from Wi-Fi 4 and 5 to Wi-Fi 6 to Wi-Fi 6E and 7 of not only expanding channel sizes and bandwidth and adding more spectrum, but also in making the connections much more robust and much more efficient at the infrastructure level as well as at the client level. So as we were thinking about this here at Intel, we realized that even with all these advances, even with all the things that we've done as an industry, there's still this pesky little thing called physics that gets in the way of a perfect network, right? You've got walls, windows, floors, you've got AP placement, client placement, what's the client radio, what's the AP radio, what technologies are you on, what other things are interfering. All of that stuff exists in all of the environments that you mentioned, right? Home, work, hotels, airports, airplanes, conference rooms. They're all different. And it's really impossible to predict the kind of network and the kind of situation that these devices are going to find themselves in. So as we thought about, what can we do about this? We realized a couple of key things. First of all, we have a significant market presence and a massive installed base of PC endpoints. Not only in the enterprise, but also in the home that use Intel connectivity. Those devices generate a lot of data, right? We have access and insights into a lot of things that are happening at the client level that the OS can see, the infrastructure can't see. So we have all this information that could be used to help solve real world problems. And then we also, working with companies like Wyebot, we have a great understanding of the other side too, what's happening on the infrastructure side. So we have all this visibility, and we have all this massive opportunity to take advantage of that. What do we do, right? So if you want to click to the next slide, I'll talk a little bit about what we did. So what we did is take all the information that we're getting out of the client. It's hundreds of fields of data that we can take a look at, like I said, ranging from what's happening on the client. Things like, what apps are being used, simultaneously, what type of AP are they connected to, what is the network like, what's happening at the network, what are the packet retries, what are the issues and challenges, are you far from the AP, close to the AP, all of those kind of things. We can get all of that data. So ICA, Intel Connectivity Analytics, takes that data and gives that data to Wyebot. In addition to the raw data, we also have insights. We learn, from all of the implementations and installations that we're in, we can learn the history, right? How's this AP consistently performing over time? How's this client consistently performing over time? And we feed that data to Wyebot. And once they have that data, you can use your AI-enabled solution to get much deeper connectivity insights and help IT shops and Wyebot solve real-world problems that happen.
Excellent. Thank you, Eric. And it's such a powerful solution. So what do we do at Wyebot? And why do we partner with Intel? Wyebot optimizes the performance of these business-critical Wi-Fi by combining client-side visibility and testing with AI-powered intelligence to provide actionable recommendations that IT teams can trust. So such a strong synergy here, and that's why we drive this partnership. Intel has incredible insights and analytics, as you heard from Eric. Data that's not available in the OS, not available in the infrastructure side of the network, but literally down at the silicon level within the compute devices, tablets, laptops, medical equipment. And it's that level of information that Wyebot wants to have and needs to have, and the industry needs to build best-in-class automation platforms. And we do that by collecting it, as Eric mentioned, with collection from the laptops, tablets, from the chipsets, using edge computing, and then sending data to our AI-powered intelligence built into the cloud. Optimization challenges, right? So why is this such a big problem in the industry? We all have use cases. I'm sure everybody on this call can cite examples, whether you're at home, trying to stream a video with your families, multiple users at home all at the same time, whether you're traveling on business like we talked about, or just coming back into the corporate office headquarters and doing a video collaboration with your colleagues around the world. Wi-Fi is business critical. It is the on-ramp to the internet. Independent of any vertical now, we're dependent on it. It's that access to information anytime, any place, anywhere. Now, the challenge with it, and Eric touched on this, intermittent issues. The technology is solid. It's been around for 20 years. It's mature. But there's a lot of factors that come into play. We're talking the airspace, unlicensed spectrum, the explosion of IoT devices, whether it's home, in the office, sensors, vending machines, solar panels. We see everything coming out, furniture with Wi-Fi enablement. And so with the explosion of devices, the dynamic nature of the standard that Eric was talking about, Wi-Fi 5, 6, 6E, 7, every standard evolution creates a lot more challenges. Great advancements in terms of innovation and technology, but you have backwards compatibility. You have old driver issues. And so what happens in this world, the Wi-Fi with the mobile workforce, intermittent issues. And those are extremely hard to identify. Maybe it's only once a week or once a month. But when it happens in a manufacturing facility, it could cost millions of dollars. When it happens in a hospital, think about patient safety, retail, point of sale, losing sales to your customers, or just a corporate user on a video collaboration call like this, having business continuity issues and impact to productivity. So we have a technology that's mature and business critical, and now we rely on it anywhere in the world. We have intermittent issues, and then we come down to span of control. IT has control over their own infrastructure, and most networks are designed very well. In fact, when we roll out our solution, we see that. The challenge is everything outside of their control, right? You don't have control over the neighbors. You don't have control over a user turning on a hotspot. Or, of course, in the home environment, like Eric was talking about, with all the teleworkers, mobile workforce working in their home environment. And again, the laptop, the software, the VPN, all that could be rock solid, and the user is still having intermittent application performance issues. We need proof of innocence quickly, rapidly, on demand. We don't have the time and the effort. We can't go out to people's homes to troubleshoot issues. They could be in hotels and airports, etc. So the span of control is very interesting because you have tight control over your own infrastructure, but everything else in the shared airspace, you don't have control over. Wi-Fi expertise. It's fascinating. The IT organizations we work with around the world, from SMB to Fortune 500 customers. There's excellent expertise out there. But to be really rock solid and to be an expert in all facets of Wi-Fi is challenging for a lot of organizations because of the diverse set of technologies and networking devices they need to support. Wi-Fi is just one critical element of a network. We have switches, we have routers, we have WAN links, all the applications, servers. We could go on and on. And so in a lot of locations, there's no Wi-Fi expertise. Maybe in headquarters, you have Wi-Fi expertise. But then you have 100 or 1,000 locations around the world where obviously you cannot have Wi-Fi expertise in all of those locations. Big challenge. And then distributed locations ties into that, right? Solving intermittent Wi-Fi performance issues in another part of the world. Time zone, right? You find out about the issue in the US when you come in the morning, but it happened at night, US time, because it's another part of the world. So there's a whole slew of challenges that IT organizations have to deal with when we're talking about optimizing, truly optimizing these business critical Wi-Fi networks.
Now, I was just going to say, Roger, on your distributed locations, it used to be enough for an IT, team to make sure that they had the best possible network because 99% of the work that was being done for that enterprise was being done within a controlled network. COVID taught us a completely different way of working, as you pointed out earlier. They can't design, a great network design for the corporation is great, but I know my team in particular, just as an example, my team's here maybe 2 days a week. So most of the time they're working from another location. IT has no control over that. So as we're going to talk about here in your next slides, the things that we're doing together help IT, whether that solution or that client is being used in the enterprise, at home, or on the road.
Excellent. Thank you, Eric. So first and foremost, right, for Wi-Fi optimization and automation, we need to collect data, right? We need collection points. I just want to briefly touch on this. Wyebot has an IoT sensor, a physical device, right, that goes on customer prem, retail, manufacturing, warehousing, education, libraries, cruise ships, right, business critical environments for collecting this valuable telemetry data. But that does not support the mobile workforce, right? Thus, this webinar. So that's why we partner with Intel, best in class solution. On the right-hand side here, we developed what we call the DEX agent, digital experience agent for the mobile workforce. Again, in partnership with Intel. We spent over a year working with Intel on this Intel connectivity analytics, right? So we're leveraging that deep telemetry data that Eric talked about within the chipsets down to that level, probe responses, right? And feeding that into our AI automation platform. So again, a software agent that gets loaded all automatically through your standard iTunes platform, whatever you're using in the market. Software agent gets loaded, that automatically connects with the Intel connectivity analytics engine, and we feed that data into our application software that's running the AI engine. So again, it starts with the data collection points. Okay, a summary of the hierarchy here. As we talked about before, we have the existing wireless infrastructure. Now, the own networks, as we call it, the controlled span of control, corporate offices, branch offices, retail locations, factories, etc. Right? That's where you have control. But then we move the mobile workforce. We talked about that outside, coffee shops, anywhere around the world. Now it's a whole different world, right? You need visibility, as Eric was mentioning, into what's causing end user complaints, right? We need to get our hands around that. So we talked already about the intelligent sensors and agents, the collection points, gathering this valuable telemetry data to feed into our AI engine. This is where we use our AI-powered Wi-Fi troubleshooting, looking for conflicts, configuration issues, interoperability, interference, roaming, power save, right? Old driver software. I'm sure you folks have a laundry list where you spend days and weeks, right? Or even months in some cases, drilling down to some strange interoperability performance issue. This is all automated now, leveraging the software agent on the device, feeding the AI-powered engine. We use crowdsourcing, as you can imagine, because we're deployed all over the world, both sensors and agents. So that all feeds into the AI engine, which then sends the output to the cloud platform. Now we have intelligent alerts. In fact, in most cases, you're going to get alerted before the user even complains, right? In the Wi-Fi world, as we know, most of the time, the networks start to degrade before it creates a major issue. Interference, right? Number of applications running, number of users or IoT devices connected to a network. They tend to degrade over time. So setting thresholds and getting intelligent alerts before your businesses are impacted, before the manufacturing organization is impacted, is critically important. Automated recommendations, the beauty of AI, the ability to recommend solutions to the problems for your help desk, your engineers working on and assigned to these particular issues. Actionable analytics. Eric touched on this. the number of data points and data sets that we're collecting directly from Intel with their software is incredible. Game changer in the market. We take that analytics, we're able to provide powerful metrics in our dashboard to show you trending analysis, including historical data, so you know exactly when an event occurred. Maybe there was an upgrade in the network at that time, software, hardware. Maybe you had a sales kickoff meeting. All that information is available, right? Airlines, right? Monitoring user experience as you travel across the country or the world on the airplane by having the software running on a tablet on the airplane. So incredible analytics to give you that historical data on what the user experience is. And again, complete visibility. Because we have this rich data 24/7, wherever this device is, all provided in the cloud platform. Eric, is there anything else you want to add to this before I move on?
I think you summed it up super well. Love your solution. And I think one of the questions, if I was in the audience, is, is this deployed? Is it working? One of the things I can tell you is that, we deployed this at Intel IT, and after using this for 6 months, the response from Intel IT was exactly your words: game changer. We're solving things in minutes in seconds that used to take days, hours, or even weeks. So really cool real world deployments that you have that are helping us to, as you said, learn, improve, and crowdsource, that are helping us solve real world problems in vastly reduced times.
We have shifted the market completely with this type of partnership from manual reactive, right? As Eric was saying, manual reactive to automated and proactive, right? We want to change the game. We don't have the time, given the business critical applications that are running, to be manual reactive anymore. We have to be automated proactive. And we've got some use cases coming up in addition to what Eric mentioned to show you the impact of this type of technology. So here's some valuable ROI metrics, meaning what are we doing with this, what we call DEX agent, the software application running on the mobile compute device. Proactively identifying the root cause of issues. Again, proactively. What can take weeks, right, to troubleshoot, analyze, solve, test, right? Ask the user to bring the device into the office, right? So you can run some analytics and testing on it. This is all automated, all remote, feeding a dashboard, telling you exactly why that user had a performance issue on the particular time, day, etc. We keep track of Wi-Fi experience as users move throughout the workspace. Wi-Fi experience. The whole goal of this, as we touched on the beginning of this session, is end user experience metrics. We have volumes of data today, very powerful, on the networking side. Both Eric and I touched on this, right? From switches and routers and Wi-Fi and management platforms globally. And that's critically important. But with the mobile workforce now, we need to understand the user experience. And we need to understand that user experience in real time as they're moving throughout the workspace. I mentioned initially the doctors and nurses in hospitals with carts on wheels, right? Their tablets moving around. Any type of disruption, as you can imagine, can have a major impact on the operation of that hospital. And when we collect it from all the devices moving around the world, right, we get to identify pockets of issues, right? So if you have a headquarters, and as the devices move around, you see where they're connected, you quickly are able to cross correlate the data to say, oh, in this part of my headquarters, there's a particular interference, gap in coverage, etc. So keeping track of user experience independent of where they are in the world. Monitor Wi-Fi coverage and signal strength 24/7. Again, proof of innocence. We see this a lot in the home environment, as you can imagine. A lot of home environments, right, have one router, right, in the home, but as they move around their home, they leave the home office, right? They're in the living room, bedroom, etc., expecting to have the same user experience. Now they're opening tickets, they're complaining about why their video collaboration or their business critical application is having slowness and drops. A quick assessment of the coverage immediately will be able to isolate and let you know what that issue is. We talked about mean time to resolution a couple of times already. The ultimate goal here with automation, going from days, weeks, hours down to minutes, seconds, right? Immediate identification. Drill into specific device performance issues. We obviously have an inventory of all the drivers, all the devices, what type of devices they are. And so now we're able to see performance trends based on clients themselves, right? And how that experience is based on older drivers, newer technology. As Eric mentioned, we migrate from Wi-Fi 5, 6, 7, and the correlation between the new technology and specific devices. A beautiful thing about the solution, the ability to run network tests. These can be run on demand if you're actively working on a particular issue, all remotely, connecting into that device, running a network test. Or you can schedule them. Beautiful, right? Schedule the network tests. This is in addition to the automation that's happening 24/7. But now we're proactively running quality assurance tests from that device, independent of where it's located. So a combination of network testing and Wi-Fi automation. Complete performance visibility. We talked about how we have all the analytics and dashboard metrics from any location around the world with a centralized dashboard. And deep dive into business application performance. That's a combination of application testing that we do, as well as the user experience metrics, Microsoft Teams, etc., how the user experience is in those environments. So again, to summarize here, we're collecting all this analytics, remote data, directly deep down into the Wi-Fi chipsets, as Eric mentioned, feeding that edge computing, AI into a centralized dashboard with proactive alerting to rapidly resolve these issues in real time. Eric, any comments on that?
Just that I think it's, in this era of AI, and a lot of people are saying, so what do we use it for? Right. And this is an amazing example of how data and AI come together to solve real problems. So love the work that you guys have done to develop your AI engine, to do that learning, to be proactive and to be able to be super responsive and identify not just the root cause, but recommend fixes quickly. That's the power of the solution when you combine it with AI.
Excellent. And the beauty of this is we just keep enhancing the engine all the time. So we're continually working with Intel and their updates on their Intel connectivity analytics platform. They keep evolving and enhancing, adding new capabilities as the standards evolve. And we do the same thing on the back end with our edge computing and AI and dashboard. So this is constantly being tuned and improved and enhanced to support the emerging technologies as they come into market. A few more use cases. Eric already provided a great one when he talked about the use case within Intel. Video collaboration. I think we all agree this is one of many, but one of the large challenges in the industry today, right? Post-COVID, the typical user got used to video collaboration. It's been used for years, obviously, but it wasn't as prolific as it was post-COVID. People started to dabble in it, then got comfortable with it, and then it became the norm for collaboration, whether you're at home or in the office. And in fact, that's what's happening is the users got so used to it in the home environment, excuse me, after a year or two of COVID, when they came in the office, they just started using it. Well, here's some use cases. Zoom, right? These are live customer use cases using our software, using the Intel Analytics platform to solve. So Zoom is having issues, right? The DEX agent spotted bad Wi-Fi instantly, saving hours of hardware troubleshooting. Home router replacement, fixed Zoom issues. Again, proof of innocence, right? We need to understand wherever that user is in any environment, what's the root cause of their user experience issue. Microsoft Teams, another very important video collaboration solution on the market. And we have a synthetic test built into the DEX agent that allows you to do Microsoft Teams testing. So here we had a regularly scheduled test running. As I mentioned, from the end user device to monitor connectivity and performance with Microsoft Teams. And the last one happened to be another home networking optimization where an executive complained of Wi-Fi issues at home. Again, DEX agent immediately identified router configuration fixes that resolved all issues. These are just a few of many, but we wanted to show you some of the remote ones. We have a lot in the enterprise corporate offices as well, but since we're focused on teleworkers, mobile workforce, we wanted to give you some live use cases of what's happening around the world. But as I mentioned, we're seeing this in most verticals today, where having the DEX agent loaded on the device is able to pinpoint, and you can see some of the charts and graphs, signal strength, data rate, all this is automated, historical data running 24/7 so that IT can go back in time, pinpoint exactly what caused the problem. Eric, any additional comments on this one? I know you cited your example already.
Nope.
So what's next? Some exciting news here. We have live demos you can schedule to see the DEX sensor, DEX intelligent platform powered by Intel Connectivity Analytics Live, right? So we can set that up at any point in time, and we can complement that with a free trial. We'll actually just send you 10 licenses of this DEX agent. You load it onto your compute devices, and you'll see this live in action. So we strongly encourage this, whatever works for you. You can jump right into a trial if you're comfortable with that, or if you want to dive in and see a live demo with our team first, walking through the entire platform, we'd be glad to do that, and then make a business decision on the timing of when it makes sense to do a free trial. But we want you to see it in action. This is, as we mentioned, game-changing technology, pushing the innovation paradigm, right? Working closely with the Intel team and the Wyebot team to bring this solution to market.